In the UK, there are more than 850,000 people with dementia, and that number is expected to increase to over 1 million by 2025. There is increasing focus on how the home and the home environment can support people to age well. So to take on this challenge, we've established a multidisciplinary team from Loughborough University, Liverpool John Moores University, Halsall Lloyd Partnerships and the BRE Trust.
We're investigating ways in which people can remain in their own homes even if they develop symptoms of dementia. A dementia-friendly environment in a residential scale building, by which I mean a domestic setting, a home. So in the house project, it's a 2-bedroom house. And so we've tried to base it on the idea that who would actually inhabit this house. So we have 2 personas in our house. We have Chris and Sally. So what visitors to the house will see is how Chris and Sally's life journey is represented in the house, and perhaps how they might need to adapt the house in the future as their symptoms change and develop.
So our challenge is to ensure that we provide a thermally comfortable environment with good indoor air quality but without excessive uses of energy. Elderly people may have less disposable income, and therefore it's important to ensure that what we do doesn't have a cost premium attached to it. So the benefit of this research is to help not only the UK but also people around the world who suffer from dementia. Designers of these types of homes around the world will benefit from the research that's done at BRE with Loughborough University.
Welcome to the story of Chris and Sally's house. My name is Bill Halsall. I'm an architect and I'm a landscape architect. And I'm senior partner at Halsall Lloyd Partnership, Architects and Designers. A few years ago, Rob MacDonald of Liverpool John Moores University, who's joined us today, and myself, set out to do some research into design for dementia. We carried out some research and design, particularly through an organisation called Dementia Action. We produced 3 books, which you can see there. Now, the point of the research, really, in the first place, was to assist people to live well with dementia and to sustain their capacity in their own homes for longer. So it specifically addresses the domestic environment and people's own environment. You know, the streets and towns and neighbourhoods where they live, those publications obviously drew a certain amount of attention, and then we were approached by the BRE to get involved in the dementia home. So this is the building. This is actually was never a house at all. It actually was an old stable block forming part of the estate at Watford, the demonstration project. Sorry, the innovation park there. Now the bit with the green line round it is the bit that we were offered to convert into the dementia home. A 2 up, 2 down cottage is quite a sort of typical building form in the UK, whether it occurs in a little terrace street or whether it occurs in a village. This kind of 2-room arrangement is quite historic. So we reimagined the Chris and Sally's house as being a 2 down cottage, and we speculated about what was wrong with it, and you can see some of the things there. Obviously, they're finding difficulty with the bathroom, there are incontinence issues, stairs are a struggle, views to the garden are poor, and so on. Thresholds, lighting levels inadequate, ventilation poor, windows hard to open. On a sunny day, there's glare and overheating, and there's restricted headroom at first floor. If we move up to the next slide, you can see that's the ground floor there. That's at the first floor. So the proposed interventions into the form were, first of all, we opened up the space in between the 2 rooms, and this is the ground floor. And I think the most obvious thing is that it's become very open plan. So it's in effect a single space with very few doors. and it's accessible lift or provision for one in the future. So we're trying to anticipate future needs and make it flexible in the future. You can see there also that there's a small room with one with a blue bed in, which is categorized as a day room, but is it's the design thinking is that's a flexible space. It could be a designing room, it could be a hobby room, it could be a quiet room, or it could be a room for end-of-life care. And you can see there that there's a track so that people can be helped into the shower room at the back there. And obviously the kitchen and living room are all visually connected. We've got round the low ceilings through the design. There's a small tea kitchen area there which adjoins the main bedroom, which is there to help nursing care or making a cup of tea or sorting out medication, that kind of thing. We've got another bathroom, shower room, and the second bedroom. So this shows the floor arrangement on the ground floor. I think one of the things this shows quite clearly is that those yellow arrows, we've designed it so that from key points in the dwelling, the WC is visible, and this is one of the things that came out of our research, is that people feel more comfortable if they know where the facilities are and are less likely to have accidents. You can see the red circles represent wheelchair turning circles, so the whole thing is wheelchair accessible. Upstairs, the master bedroom obviously has the vision cone to the shower room and the WC there, and you can see the lift lobby opening onto the landing. So some of these features which came from the initial building that we were given. So you can see on the right hand side that there's some high level windows, which of course you wouldn't normally have. But this is really trying to demonstrate quite a lot of things in one demonstration house. You wouldn't necessarily want to do all of these things in your own house. You might not want that disruption. You might not want the radicalness of the change. But it's a compendium of ideas for people to pick at. So this is the kitchen dining room. We've got open plan arrangement. We've got the legibility between the rooms. We've got easy access to the WC and shower room with good visibility for orientation. Lift access to the first floor. We've minimised the numbers of doors. So if you imagine somebody with dementia arriving at this house, they can immediately see where everything is. They're not confronted by a hallway with lots of different doors and having to make choices. The design has walkability as well as wheelchair access, so you can make your way through the home by hanging onto bits of furniture or bits of worktop. The kitchen has glass doors and drawers for visibility of kitchen equipment. It makes things easier to find. We've got high and low work surfaces to accommodate people who might be in a wheelchair. We've got rounded corners everywhere to minimise risks from falls. We've got a view to green out of the window. Put a new window in there to get a view to green. View to green reduces stress for anybody, but particularly for people living with dementia. We have good natural and artificial light. We have tonal contrast between the floor, walls, doors, kitchen unit, fronts and worktops. This is a scale of 100 points really, and we're trying to get 30% difference in light reflectance values between adjoining surfaces to help perception of space for somebody with cognitive impairment. And there's, of course, there's personalisation and memories to make it feel like a home. You can see we move through to the lounge. similar principles: open plan, view to green, high level of ambient and task lighting. Little details like curtains with a highlighted edge for ease of use, and the contrasting arms on the armchairs. So there's quite a lot of detail you can go into in this this kind of design. Again, the view to green out of the window. The day room, obviously a quieter room. You can see the wheelchair. One of the things that we did was to put wheelchair charging points at key positions in the dwelling. So this is one that's in a bedroom. There's also one in a living room. So we're kind of making it easier for people to recharge the wheelchair, any time of the day or night. On the right-hand side, there's a pocket door between the day room and the shower room for flexibility between alternative uses of the room. And we have blackout blinds and things like that to help people to be in terms of their cycle through the day and night. This is the shower room and bathroom. The doors on your left are intended as a cupboard for the washing machine. One of the research pointers is that people can find the sound of a washing machine to be disturbing, so we've put it in a separate room of its own. The bathroom itself, of course, is kitted out with all the aids that you might expect, and to be fair, the shower room is actually more difficult to make homely, actually, because it does have to have all these facilities. But the appliances, the white are white, so they stand out against the floors and the walls. And again, this is for visibility and the light reflectance values. And the master bedroom there. So again, contrasting tonal values between the floor and the bed and the walls and the curtains and so on to help that interpretation of space. And the guest bedroom, which observes obviously similar principles.